Hello my dear friends, and welcome back to another Star Wars news update. In today's video we're going to be primarily talking about the Kenobi series, but we've also got a tidbit for Star Wars Brotherhood. So without much further ado and without any more jibber jabber, let's get straight into it. We begin with a new TV spot for the Kenobi show. There is brand new footage guys and dialogue that we need to speak about and break down. So the brief teaser begins and ends with Obi-Wan meditating, and based on the Making Star Wars leaks, we can presume this takes place on the planet of Jabim in the second half of the show. At this stage, Obi-Wan has already faced Vader once and is rescued by Rokun, who is O'Shea Jackson Jr.'s character, one of Saw Gerrera's partisans. So in preparation for his second fight with Vader, Obi-Wan meditates and tries to get inside Vader's head. He tries to remember everything he knew about Anakin and how to get to him emotionally, and it's during this scene that we get flashbacks to Anakin and Obi-Wan prior to the Clone Wars. And I could be wrong, but that's what the leaks state. So next up in the TV spot, we see the Inquisitors arrive on Tatooine. The shadow of their ship is symbolic of pending doom, and I just love this imagery. Throughout the teaser, we hear the voice of Reva, and she addresses the Tatooine locals and says, "The Jedi are cowards, they failed you, there is no point in protecting them." And then she asks the ultimate question that the Inquisitors want to know: where is Obi-Wan? So the Inquisitors are doing their job and interrogating people on various worlds in hopes of tracking down and killing Jedi who escaped Order 66 with their lives. Now I've got to say guys, this TV spot has made me super excited for this new Inquisitor, Reva, and every time we get a new one, there is so much to learn about them, and their stories help to flesh out Star Wars lore. Now in Reva's case, we heard her speak in the final trailer, or rather shout at Obi-Wan, but in this new bit of footage, we get a proper sense of what she sounds like when she's talking normally, and I really love her voice. We've heard Moses Ingram and Deborah Chow say in interviews how savage and ruthless this character is going to be. I'm also really curious to see how Deborah Chow and Lucasfilm have treated the fifth brother. The live action design for the character is very different to what it was in Rebels, but we haven't heard much from Sun Kang. The other day Rupert Friend spoke about the Grand Inquisitor, saying that he deliberately went out of his way to avoid watching Star Wars Rebels, which I don't think is a good sign, but I'm not going to judge it properly until I've seen his performance. Rupert is a spectacular actor, and in that interview, he talked about Dave Filoni's involvement in the show. Dave was there on set to monitor everything, and because Dave created these two Inquisitors from Rebels, if he's happy with their performance, then I'm sure we're going to be too. I have high hopes for this show, but due to some hiccups in recent times, it's always cautious optimism, and because I'm going into this show a lot more positively, I have seen some disconnect with some folks, which is completely normal, but some people have said I'm being over the top positive. That's not true at all. I'm just really excited to see Kenobi again. But I always speak my mind, and if the show sucks, I'm going to say it at the time. But going into it, I'm not going to judge until we've got a proper look at all 6 episodes. There hasn't been too much that's thrown me off the series, and both trailers and now this TV spot keep me hyped. And on Friday, I will be doing my full episode breakdowns of episodes 1 and 2. Now, I haven't decided if I'm going to group them into one video, but if there's too much to pack in, then I will be releasing them as 2 separate breakdowns. But I have missed breakdowns since the Book of Boba Fett. They're one of my favourite kinds of videos to make for you guys. Not to mention, from Thursday to Sunday of the coming week, Star Wars Celebration takes place. We're probably going to have tons of news, and even though I'm not going to be there in Anaheim, I will be breaking down all of the important tidbits right here on my channel as they take place. So make sure you're subscribed guys, and give that bell a good old tickle so that you never miss an upload. And so now my dear Mandalorians, let's move on to our next topic. Staying on the subject of Kenobi, I've got a question. What character comes to mind if I say the words driven, vengeful, and unstoppable? Well, these are the 3 words that Hayden Christensen carefully chose in a new interview to describe what Vader is going to be like in the Kenobi series. He was asked to give some insight, and as he said in the past, this Vader is not fully formed yet. He still has that angry, emo Anakin within him. And the wounds of the Duel of Mustafar, both physically and metaphorically speaking, are still very much with him. And I think that's going to show in the series itself. When Obi-Wan and Vader face off the 2 times, I'm sure they're going to be some of the most intense lightsaber duels we've ever seen in this franchise. And the great thing is, the lightsaber style is going to be very similar to the prequels, so fast-paced, intense, and I'm sure we're going to be rewatching those episodes over and over again. And so now guys, this takes us onto the subject of Star Wars Brotherhood, the new novel by Mike Chen. I know so many people are reading it at the moment, and there are tons of Easter eggs and connections, not to mention it reveals that Anakin meets Cal Kestis. But today we're going to be talking about an important missing chapter in Obi-Wan and Anakin's relationship that they finally revealed. Set shortly after Anakin and Padme get married in Attack of the Clones, but before the story is told in the Clone Wars, this book's main aim was to explain what that business was on Cato Neimoidia, but in the process it also reveals a missing chapter in the relationship between Obi-Wan and Anakin, and this helps tie together both of their arcs spanning the Phantom Menace through Revenge of the Sith, and we're going to be discussing one of those crucial beats here. So I will say guys, big spoiler warning for Star Wars Brotherhood. Now, what I love about this book is it offers a very different perspective to Anakin. The Clone Wars helped to flesh out his character, presenting him as a fully formed Jedi Knight. Anakin proved wise enough to teach a Padawan, and was brave, loyal, and capable in many ways, or enough for Obi-Wan to call him a cunning warrior and a good friend. But there is a segment of Anakin's life that's not been explored until this novel. What was he like just before becoming a Jedi Knight? The 2D Clone Wars kind of showed a little glimpse of it, but that show is not canon, so the most recent book Star Wars Brotherhood has answers and shows us that there was a class of Padawans that were quickly promoted to Jedi Knights in order to help shore up Republic forces in the early days of the Clone Wars. Anakin was among them. The relationship between Obi-Wan and Anakin changed quite dramatically, and they actually spent some time apart. It all comes to focus in a single passage from the new book, as Anakin bids Obi-Wan farewell before they depart for separate missions. And so here's the passage. "Hey," Anakin said, palms up for emphasis, "you know me. Several months ago, those few words might have come with resentment or defiance, but here, a cheekiness came through, and the look in Anakin's eye lacked the usual judgment of the past, and instead, arrived with a hint of amusement." It's an easy passage to gloss over, but in this short exchange, so much is said. It shows a transformation in Anakin, and also in the chemistry of that relationship. At this very moment, Anakin goes from Padawan with a very immature outlook to the brother in arms who will playfully attempt to one-up his former master while never leaving a doubt that he'd lay down his life to defend him. It's a pivotal moment, beautifully incorporated by Mike Chen in this book. And as a reader immersed in the narrative, you can almost hear Hayden Christensen's youthful angstiness giving way to Matt Lanter's more cheerful voice acting performance. And I love little things like this. They're the small but major elements that for me make books indispensable. And in my opinion, Brotherhood just reached that level. So let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Are you reading this book? And if so, what do you think of it so far? Let me know your thoughts of everything we spoke about in today's video. Give this video a big fat thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in the next one. May the Force be with you always. I'm Star Wars Meg. Have a good one.